What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another session of Learn Something Thursday. And listen, let me tell y'all something. I feel like I'm very far away, so I'm gonna be scooting in, alright? I'm gonna scoot in, but y'all can't see the board. Alright, anyway, y'all, I'm the most important thing right about now. So, Learn Something Thursday, y'all. I'm here to teach y'all. We're here to learn together. Guess what? School's in session. Hopefully that you got your notebook to write this stuff down, because I'm giving y'all powerful tools so that y'all could be powerful people in a powerful land, y'all. Listen, y'all. It's school time. If you don't know who I am, I'm going to reintroduce myself to y'all. Make sure I got the right marker. Make sure it's not a permanent marker. Anyway, y'all, I am Professor Perks. All right, my full name is Perkins, okay? But you can call me Professor Perks, all right? Because I'm going to give y'all the perks of this lesson. And y'all are going to say thank you when I'm done, all right? Listen, y'all. It is 2026, and we are negating all responsibilities. We are negating every single responsibility that could come our way, y'all. And today's responsibility is we're going to be financially irresponsible. Yes, I'm going to teach y'all how to be financially irresponsible. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why would I want to know that? I already do that as is. See, now that you already do it, you can grow more financially irresponsible. You're welcome. You're welcome. 1 second, please. Last time we were together, we talked about how to get in debt, stay in debt, and mess about a little credit a little bit. You understand what I'm saying? But today, I want to teach y'all how to be financially responsible. And I know what you're thinking. Isn't it the same thing? Kind of. So a lot of what I talked about last time, we're going to talk about today too. But we're not going to talk about being in debt. We're going to talk about how to be financially irresponsible. So next time you have a question, you're going to raise your hand and stop talking out loud. Sorry. I was raised in Brooklyn, New York. So a lot of times that ghetto stuff, it just comes out every once in a while. I do apologize for that. So for our first one, for how to be financially responsible, in 2026, we are not going to write anything down. Our bills, I'm not going to write it down. Anything that you may have coming out of your account, we're not going to write it down. Because if we were financially responsible, we would write it down. We write down our bills, we write down what we got to pay, we got to write down all our debts and stuff like that. We're not going to write it down. So, not write anything. Anything, baby. That's how we're going to be irresponsible, y'all. We're not going to write it down. If the bill comes, I didn't know. Oh my goodness. What was that? I don't know. I've been waiting to burn these candles. So you tell me, you want to shut off my power? Go right ahead. I don't care. I've been waiting to burn these candles. I've been waiting to sit in the dark. I love the dark. I like to sleep till 12 o'clock in the afternoon time on my days off. Do you think I really wanted some light? No. No. That's where you got it wrong. So we're not going to write anything down. We're not. Number 2, I talked about this last time, but we are going to decide what to pay. Decide what to pay. Now I know what you're thinking, like, oh my gosh, really? Yeah, we're going to decide what to pay. Because you know why? You like to go out on trips. You like to go on road trips. You like to get your nails done. You like to have fun. Why should you have to pay a bill when you want to have fun? Why? Tell me that. I'm waiting. You can't come up with nothing, right? See, this is the time that I allowed you to speak and you didn't say nothing. So next time when I'm speaking, you don't. Sorry. Anyway, back to the lesson. Decide what to pay. You like to have fun. You like to go out. You like to go with the little girls. You like to go with the boys. If you do your thing. You do your thing. You do your thing. So we're gonna decide what to pay. Light bill or nail bill. Nail bill. Your nails. That's really what it comes down to. Are we going to pay your gas, or are we going to pay your gas in the car so you can go ahead and go do something? I think the option is pretty clear. Number 3, we're going to ignore all calls. Now I know what you're thinking. What if my mama calls? All right, pick it up for your mama. But who I'm talking about most is them bill collectors, right? Because the bill collectors be calling you and be like, oh, by the way, your loan is due. This is due. That is due. Okay? Fun is due. How about that? Nobody calls me about fun. Nobody calls me when it's time to have fun, right? So what we doing here? We're going to ignore all calls. We're going to ignore our calls. We ain't going to pick up. Guess what? We got better things to do. I'm at work. You think I want to answer a 682 number while I'm at work? No. You think I want to answer a 1-800 number while I'm at work? No. What benefit does it serve me for y'all to put me on a payment plan when y'all know I ain't gonna pay it? Because the moment you put me on a payment plan, I'm just gonna ignore it. I'm not giving you my money. I make a certain amount of money a month, and you think that I'm gonna give you that certain amount of money? You must be outside your mind. You must be outside your mind thinking that I'm going to do that. Because I'm not. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So you can think whatever you want to think. You can feel however you want to feel. But I'm not answering any calls. All of it's going to go to voicemail. I don't care if I even know you. If your number looks weird, we're going to forward it to voicemail. We are going to forward it to voicemail. We're not answering anything, okay? Now, if a name pops up of who you know, it's up to your discretion to answer that or not. But if you don't want to answer it, you don't have to answer it. Our last one, how to be financially irresponsible, y'all. Y'all ready for this? Are y'all ready for our last point? All right. Well, I'll just give it to you. Our last point is we're going to live direct deposit to direct deposit, y'all. Listen, y'all. You think that we're going to be saving up money for our next week of when we get paid? We're not. Number 4. And I told you some of this stuff is what we talked about last time. But we're going to live direct deposit, y'all. That's how we're going to live our life. I'm going to say direct to direct, okay? That's how we're going to live our lives, y'all. We ain't worried about putting some aside to save and stuff like that. We ain't worried about that, y'all. We not. We're going to live direct deposit to direct deposit. Once that money comes into our account, We gonna spend it how we want to. We gonna live our lives how we want to. And we just gonna do what we want to. Groceries for the kids? I see ramen soup in there. I see cereal in there. Do y'all necessarily, do we always have to cook all the time? No, we don't have to cook all the time. I see cereal. I see ramen. So at least we know what dinner could be, right? This is how we're gonna live financially responsible. We're gonna not write stuff down. We're gonna decide what to pay. We're going to ignore all calls. We're gonna live direct to direct. And this is how we're gonna live irresponsible, y'all. But it's 2026, y'all. 2026, y'all. If you want to live irresponsible, do this. Do all of this. But if you want to live a responsible life, start writing down your bills. Start allocating where your money goes to. Because when you don't allocate to where your money goes to, it literally goes to our last step. Direct deposit to direct deposit. Your money comes in, your money goes out. Your money comes in, and your money goes out. Comes in, out. In, out. In, out. And that's not a way to live. That's not financial freedom. Financial freedom is that you actually have money left over from your last paycheck that will carry into your new paycheck. That's what financial freedom is about, y'all. That's what we should be achieving in 2026. We should be achieving financial freedom. And what's the biggest problem is that there are a lot of people who have financial freedom who are not giving these tips, who are not telling people what to do. I'm not saying I have financial freedom. I'm not saying that. I wish that was the case. But from the things I've seen over the years, from the things I've seen from time to time, now we got to get in our brains that, okay, I lived this way once. Now I need to know about a different way. Now I need to know how I can live differently now. I lived this way for a long time, but now it's up to me to live differently. Now it's up to me to do things differently. And that's how we have to live. This whole steps here, seriously, if you want to live that YOLO life, you only live once, do this. Don't write things down. Decide what to pay. Really? Decide what to pay. Like if you want to go out and have a good time, there's nothing wrong with that. But you shouldn't have to sacrifice your light bills, your car bills, your car note, none of that. Because all of that goes onto your credit, and your credit gonna go right down. And also ignoring calls. Ignoring these bill collectors when they call. Even sometimes they are scams. Sometimes they are scams. Scam likely. All right? We ain't answer no scam likely. But there are other calls that you know that you should be answering. That you should be getting on a payment plan and saying, okay, man, how can I pay off this debt? And you're going to take, what we're going to do is, we're going to take a little bit of debt first. And we're going to wipe that out. And then we're going to work on our bigger debts. It's all step by 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 step. That's how we're going to achieve that financial freedom. That's how we're going to achieve being out of debt. And like I said, it's 2026, y'all. We shouldn't be living direct deposit no more. But we should be having that financial freedom that we can enjoy life, that we can celebrate life, that we can feel that life is good. But if you want to be financially irresponsible, these are the ways for you. I'll see y'all next time for Learning Something Thursday, y'all. Woo woo! Let's go, y'all. Let's go, let's go.